Alright, so picking up from where we left off, part 2. At this point, we're kind of just waiting out the sickness of our folks. Kind of existentially dreading the raid that's probably going to come. Luckily, early raids are only usually one person, so they're pretty easy to deal with. We've got a pretty secluded area, too, so anything that's going to come at us is going to come through here, and this river is going to slow them down. I kind of wish they had stacked these over here, but whatever. You know what? I'm actually gonna fix that. So shrink zones, remove those. Select these, set them for haul. Expand this zone, because we really only just need this to go straight across. Because anything that's going to attack us is going to attack us from this direction, so. Alright. But I have no one available to haul at the moment, so it's going to be a while before that happens. And there's our first event. So our power is knocked out. I guess it's good that happened before we really had anything that required power as an essential part of our gameplay. I mean, yeah, this meat's not going to spoil. I mean, there's not enough meat for it to even matter. We've got enough survival meat to last. So hopefully it's a very short solar flare. Alright, so his prioritization is not going to benefit us right now, so let's just kind of put a halt on a lot of that. We still want this room, so... Oh, cool. So, very short solar flare. We did lose the meat, but I think animals ate that. So, let's get some people hunting. Well, basically just him. I'm going to go ahead and take the risk. See if I can kill a couple of boars. Since those have a pretty significant amount of meat. I think both of my cooks are down now. Yep. Oh. There's our event right there. So, these can go either way. You can rescue them, and sometimes they'll join you, and sometimes you will rescue them, and then they will just, once they're healed, get up and leave. Which, you do have the option when they do that, where you could opt to capture them, and then try to recruit them via the prison warden method. Depending on where they're from, though, I will typically... So there's factions, for example. So if we go into the faction tab, these are our factions. These are basically anyone who's red is going to be the tribes that actually attack us in a raid scenario. Blue will be where we get our friendly traders and things of that nature. So these guys that drop from pods can be from a faction, or they can be unaffiliated. And if they're unaffiliated, I'm going to end up capturing them if they don't join on their own, because there will be no repercussions to that, as opposed to, you know, if they were, say, one of our blue factions, the instant you capture them, you're going to get a negative faction response from that, and they're going to turn into, well, especially now, because they're all at 0, they're going to turn into a hostile faction. And so you want to avoid having hostile factions, because if you have hostile factions, when you're in need, you're not going to have a trader come and bring you supplies and things of that nature. So, she healed already? No, she did not. Why are you up and about? Probably because I'm an idiot. Oh, no, they were just on normal. So, I should also set patient to 1 now that I think about it. Or else they will do. Because she's a doctor, she's going to get up and try to heal, and when she's not in bed, she's not recovering. You can set them to heal themselves, but there is a negative side effect to that too. They only heal half as effectively. So for her, she's a really good doctor, so it probably won't hurt. But for now, we're just going to keep the one guy who's actually still up and active. And then, alright, we got our quest. Expires in 2 days. Okay, so this is our first easy rep one. I like to do a hard save just because. There we go. Raid 1. I always mark raid saves as raid saves, so I know how much. Now I will trigger the. Where did it go? Oh, I always forget how to get in. There it is. Okay. It's just a raccoon, so let's check. Homeboy shoots, right? Ah, he's the punch guy. How long do you guys have? You're mostly good. Yeah, I'll use that in a fight, even though they're sick. There's such a low possibility of getting hit by a raccoon. Alright. Ooh, very nice. That's a nice bonus. Too bad I only have one male. I think. Nope, 2 males. Cool, so half of my population is going to get mood bonuses from that. Okay, so let's go ahead and trigger this. NG's psychically deaf, so she's basically out of the running for title, because you need to be able to be psychically adept in order to hold the title. Since Freckles can only punch, combat effectiveness is going to be very small at best, but if we make Freckles our noble with the addition of psychic powers, probably going to end up making him more useful in combat, so he's going to be my choice. Now, she is going to come from over here, which means she's going to track through... Nope, track through here and around. Alright, hopefully the water doesn't slow her down, but now that we know where they're coming from, I'm going to go ahead and just grab these. Well, these two shoot, so we will just take these two, park them up here. Where is the raccoon? Okay. Hopefully they take the raccoon out pretty quick. Teddy is a pimp. I was not aware of that. So you can kind of kite stuff around if you do it right. Avoid taking as much damage as possible. And she is not doing a great job with her shooting today. Yeah, you don't like being chased. I understand that. Come on, NG. Really? There we go. So rabid animals will instantly rot. It's part of, they have a disease, scaria. So you have like 50-50 shot of them rotting or not. It used to be that didn't happen. So they were basically free food, but now they rot. So they're basically useless unless you get lucky and they don't. So, alright. Well, we can take everybody off. She goes to her shuttle, because she's not actually a permanent tribe member. And then that'll give us our completion for the event. Now, I really hope it doesn't drop her reward there, because that'll be really annoying to have to go all the way up there to pick it up. Alright. Cool. So now they will send people out to make Homie and Noble. Okay. Alright, so that part's done. How are you on your health? You need treatment. Why are you down? Her withdrawal finally hit. Fun. Alright, first things first. Let's get that hauled. Send him off to do his thing. Alright, where? Freckles. Do your ceremony. Get your powers. Pick up that gun so it doesn't rot. Whoops. So we do not want our best gun being destroyed by sitting outside. I do find it to be one of the most aggravating things about this game that they drop their weapons whenever they get sick. Because if you don't see it happen, like I've had somebody like all the way over here that I wasn't aware of, like drop their weapon because they got sick, and then like you don't know it's over there, so you A, don't know where your gun is, and B, it's sitting out there deteriorating because it's unroofed. Alright, we need you to refuel. Okay, and now we are running low on food. So we're gonna need to send you to hunt. Ooh, free food. Excellent. You're kind of terrible at shooting there, Teddy. How about... Oh, no. Freckles is already picking it up. That only took a century. Alright, who can cook? Freckles. Alright. What are we doing with food here, Freckles? Nope. Oh, Freckles is asleep. Okay. This is what I'm talking about how it's nice to have a night owl, especially if we had a night owl that cooked, because he could spend the whole night cooking. Now I'm going to have to probably monitor this situation and force Freckles to cook right as he wakes up, or else they will eat raw meat, because unless you mod the shit out of the game, you can't stop them from doing that. Which, yep, look, he's going to go feed raw, or he's tending now, but after this, I guarantee you he's going to try to feed raw meat to them. Yeah, do not consume pork. Why can't you consume simple meal? Alright. Why are you not assigned to cooking? Freckles. Cook. Oh, because I have Teddy selected, because I'm a genius. Okay, Teddy, you should probably get back in bed. You know. Well, you were the one who's on a bad doctor, right? Okay. We're going to go ahead and just set him to self-tend. And then we're going to send him to sleep before he eats raw meat. Alright, Freckles. Do not feed pork. Yeah, that's one of the annoying parts about this game, is having to micromanage stuff like that. Eventually, once you have a stockpile, that doesn't happen as often, but it can happen. Alright, so now that we have a heat wave going on, That's actually probably going to push things to the point where I'm going to force summer attire. Because it's going to be super hot inside. Oh, we never did check this guy. So he is actually from a tribe we're neutral with, so if he doesn't join on his own, which I highly doubt he will, he's going to leave. But on the bright side, when he leaves, we will get a bonus for our friendship with that tribe. So not actually a bad thing. God damn it. This is one of the most annoying things that can happen. This food is basically ruined, and it's especially annoying when I only have one guy up. So we are going to prioritize his plant cutting. Are you up and healthy now? Yeah, you know what? We're gonna force both of them up, because we need to deal with that. How's your flu? You're almost immune. Yeah, let's get you to prioritize that. So I recommend kind of taking control of this and get all of the ones that are close to other plants first, so that it doesn't spread. Alright, we got lucky on that, because that usually spreads a lot faster and will literally wipe out your entire crop yield. So, okay. Whew, yeah. Good thing. Okay, now, blight is dealt with. We need a research project, which we really don't, but we'll do it just to get rid of the alert. Oh, that's... I thought they had batteries to start with on this. Okay, well, I guess we did need a research project, because we have no way to store our electricity right now. They must have made that change, because this group of survivors used to have batteries as one of their pre-learned technologies, but... Alright, NG, why are you... Oh, your withdrawal. God, she's got a long time until that withdrawal goes away. Yeah, withdrawal. NG is... I know they did it because NG is what... She didn't used to come with an addiction, but I'm guessing they added that to her because she was just so overpowered and useful. Which I don't understand, because she comes... she's not as old as she is. Usually when I get her, she's like in her 70s, which is kind of its own... As they get past about 50, they start getting negative effects like bad back and, bum leg and things that affect their performance. So I figured, her being old was already kind of enough, but I guess they've kind of diversified it now, so she's either young and has a drug problem, or she's old and has a bunch of, negative stats as a result of it. Either way, let's turn plant cut off now. Prioritize hunt. Prioritize haul. I like to turn off priorities for people who are resting in bed. What are you looking like? You're immune. Perfect. Alright, well, we got 2 people now, so we're almost kind of back to where we started. No, don't eat raw meat. Yeah, that gets old really fast. Stop. Oh, you idiots. Alright, so we're gonna have to do this manually. Oh, is that my dog? Okay. You hear death sounds and then dog barks. That's when you start panicking, like, oh god, no, did the warg attack my dog? But it sounds to me like my dog is actually killing something for food. Where you at? He must have eaten that rat that was in here. Okay. Alright, back to manual priorities for food. Apparently all of our boars have taken off. Or they've been eaten. That kind of puts a dent in that plan. Alright. When can we find some more food? That's one of the downsides. If you don't murder all the predators, they tend to be... Okay, well, I guess we're going to go with plan B for food. Gonna forced harvest some rice. Which means we're turning plant cut back on. Really? Because you're gonna go eat the raw meat. Whatever. I'm done fighting it. Where are you going? Ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, once they become... It's kind of annoying, but once they become nobles, they have to meditate like once a day for their powers. Which means we need to put a meditation spot in. Which I'm kind of annoyed because I'm drawing a blank as to where that's actually at. There it is. Well, might as well make the most of the tree, I guess. Alright, at least this rice will last us a while. Since apparently all of the predators have killed all the animals, which... What that also means for us, too, is that likely they're going to come after our pets. So, this is where we do... Area 1 will work. Okay. So, zone Area 1... And essentially, I'm going to restrict them to inside the walls of our base. We got animals, set area 1. And that solves that problem for now. Yum, raw rice. Okay, would you just pick up the rice? For goodness sakes. The prioritization and how they do things can be really obnoxious sometimes. I do wish that they had a more precise control over what you could, you know. When you haul, like, set food has a haul first and then materials, but it's strange for how much intricacy the game has. There's a lot of shit that just doesn't have that same level of customization, and it's kind of odd. I guess you can't really get mad at a one-man studio that made something, you know, as developed as this game is in the end. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and just nip this shit in the bud. This eating raw food is gonna cause way too many damn penalties. You can see they're already at like borderline break risk. Who has heat stroke and why? Okay. Ah. Had to move my start menu bar. This game has some issues with full screen too. Okay, so work, all priorities. Can you construct? You're the one who sucks at construction, right? Yeah, right, you freckles. You're not terrible. Okay, no, you prioritize that. Deal with this heat stroke problem we're having. Oh, congratulations, NG. Too bad you're about 5 minutes from going back down. Oh yeah, this heat wave is kicking our ass. Alright, we're gonna do something we don't normally do. Desperate times. This heat wave has actually lasted for a long time. Could really use that ending right about now. Why are they not? I could have sworn. I'm gonna have to go back to the video, but I could have sworn, whoops, that summer has no toques as part of it, so why? Oh, you're wearing a damn helmet, that's why. Yeah, that's not great for heat either. I forgot that they changed the breakdowns on that too. So we're gonna go ahead and just turn that off altogether. And I'll just turn off all armor for now. Why are you still wearing your damn helmet? Took it off. Oh, now we got lucky. So NG and Freckles. Nice part about lovers is obviously the boost that they get for their mood, but bed consolidation. Which in the long run means instead of having to build 2 bedrooms, I now only have to build 1 for them. So, and yep, as I stated before, he's gonna take off because he's a member of the tribe. But any bonuses you can get to tribe affiliations are useful, especially in the beginning when you don't really have a lot of opportunities. Or he could get killed by a grizzly bear that's starving. I guess that's one way. Wow, I lost rep for that. That's kind of bullshit. Whatever. I mean, in a lot of events, you know what? It's still neutral. Okay. If that had made them hostile to me, I probably would have reloaded because that was nonsense. And damn it. I wish my guys were in better shape right now because I should just kill that bear. But NG is not at great health, and she's my best shooter. So we're going to take a different approach on this, because I'm really just not in the mood to deal with predators right now. So, we're going to do something I like to call Operation Great Wall. On the bright side, this also means we can expand our previous Area 1. So our animals can actually get themselves... Oh, that's right. With Area 1, you have to actually do it through this option. Well, I am curious what's in there. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's nice. It gives us a little bit more space. The boars can eat these berry bushes or plants if they're hungry. The animals don't have to be manually fed or eat out of the fridge. Okay. Now, you know what we're going to do. We're going to do the annoying task of setting up fridges and materials. So, the trick is herbal medicine. When you set this, herbal medicine, drugs. You don't really have to do any of the drugs. Wort needs to be refrigerated. Raw resources. This is basically going to be plants. So plant matter, what do we want those to be. And then toggle off items, toggle off weapons, toggle off apparel, toggle off buildings. Okay, and then now for this, we basically do the opposite of what we've just done. So no food, no herbal medicine, no wart, and no plant matter. Alright. I really wish our dog would get trained faster, because everything becomes so much easier when you have something that's just literally dedicated to hauling all day. Thank God the heat wave is over. Disassemble those now. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Oops, wrong one. And then we're gonna make sure that we untick that. There we go. Alright. You do not want to accidentally cut down those trees. It's the only thing I can tell you for sure will be a nightmare that you never really should have had to go through. Easily avoided. Alright, we're going to try to bolster our food stock here too, since summer is almost over. Alright, and then our tailor. We are going to need some parkas. I'll turn off normal priorities. Is the wall done yet? No, it's not. Like I said, they have really weird priorities. And NG is back into her fucked up state because of her addiction. This is going to happen for a long time. Addiction is one of the more annoying parts of this game. Especially when you have a character that starts with it. Trying to manually prioritize tasks gets old too, but whatever. Alright. Well, at least we have some insurance from the bears. Although we did get some fresh wildlife. He's gonna need to be buried. Yeah, you don't want to leave corpses out too long, because even if they're all the way over there, somehow they will still piss off your colonists. So we'll start our graveyard there. We don't want his clothes. Used to be you would strip people and sell their clothes, but now that doesn't work. They fixed that, so... and if possible, always try to harvest wild heal root, especially if you're in a situation like the one I'm in, where you don't have somebody who's good enough at growing to grow it, because eventually you are going to run out of medicine. Okay, so oh, is this stuff forbidden? I don't know. Alright, there we go. That would have been nice to have had that bonus, but damn bear. Speaking of which, we should probably try to get as much meat as we can. What else we got? No. Warg. Too bad the warg and the grizzly bear haven't gone after each other yet. That would solve so many problems. We want those. Damn, I wish I would have saw when that died. The bright side is, when that happens in winter, the whole world is a refrigerator. Well, it's a lot easier to find the corpses of stuff that got killed that you missed in that time frame. Luckily, we started farming early. So, we will probably have enough food to make it through the winter, but that's also why we wall off the farms and, you know, use our heat setup we have here. Because not every time. Okay, why would you go straight to it? And that's something that happens. Why would you be... They pick some really dumb positions, too. Like, let's attack something that's going to possibly retaliate against us and put ourselves in a situation where we can't run away. Yeah, way to go, genius. This is probably going to end poorly. Excellent. Alright, so just because that is just the most obnoxious kind of thing to... I'm not in the mood to deal with that right now. Because had he positioned himself in a way that was retarded, I could have actually kited him, or at least led him back, ran back through the door, and used the door as a means to not be killed by a stupid caribou. So, yeah, sometimes the AI decision making is just beyond terrible. Alright, so let's redo that whole day again, shall we? The worst part is trying to remember what changes you made, since you have to redo them all. significant. Oh, now you kill the caribou, no problem. I swear with this game. You know what? I'd prefer if you didn't do a round 2 right now, just because your track record isn't great. Really, actually would not mind a person raid or two right now, just because having some other people, a pool of possible recruits would be kind of nice. Especially with NG in the state that she's in. See, why would you prioritize the rocks over the food? The food can spoil. The rocks aren't going anywhere. Silliest mechanic, I swear. Rocks don't spoil. Jeez, the fact that I have to do this is obnoxious. Could you please just focus on the things that'll spoil? Thank you. So yeah, you will have occasions where there will be random groups of people that pass by. If I was hostile with this group, instead of just being random passerby, it would have actually been a random small-scale raid. So that shows you why you kind of want to have good relationships with people. Alright, would you guys gather the rest of the spoilable stuff now? Thank you. I swear, you just can't win sometimes. Alright, whatever. Haul the dumb rocks. Which are actually kind of pointless. There, now that we have the wall, so I'm going to relocate. So here's a fun thing you can actually do. Which I'm prone to do this a lot. Is you could actually set these rock storage locations in the water. Which doubles over as cover, but also obstacles. So things that have to travel through the water to get to you get slowed down even more. Which, once I actually cut some of these trees down and put fortifications here, will be quite useful. Go ahead and just set the groundwork for that, I suppose. Alright, rock forward, I think it's not the most important thing. Alright, so now we have our first merchant. So, is that free food? Free food. Alright, so with a merchant, you want your best social. So, he's gonna be the one we speak to the merchant with. Okay. So where are you going, merchant? Why are you going around? That's a weird choice of direction. Alright, let's see. Okay. We could just have a very, very strange interaction here in the water. Okay. So, not surprising. There's not really much here, and they don't really want anything. Oh, well, I mean, at least it gives you an idea of what it looks like to interact with the merchant. You can buy all sorts of stuff. Depending on the merchant type, will determine what they buy and sell. For example, if this was instead a bulk goods trader, I could probably sell almost everything here that's grayed out. Oh, but as of now, they don't have anything I want, and I don't have anything they want. So, the bright side too is when they kind of hang out like this. If you have the like factions, say I was plus 50 with their faction right now, and a raid came, I could let them just deal with the raid, and I'd take some hits in regards to my faction reputation with them if some of them died, but a lot of times it can be really convenient for a merchant and a raid to show up at the same time, especially since when they're all dead, everything that's on the ground that they drop, you get to keep. So, plus sides, downsides. Let's see how NG's withdrawal is going. Yeah, she's starting to get into the critical phase. About 70% she will just be catatonic and bedridden, so you will lose her for about like a week or two. And we have our first mental break. Luckily, it's not a bad one. Although it does suggest something I keep forgetting, which is they get kind of pissy if they don't have a table to eat at. That's a little bigger than I want. I also very, very badly need to tidy up this area. I might just do wood floors since I'm not really having much luck with the bricks with all the setbacks we've had. So, okay. Let's do a quick how do you clean home area tutorial type of deal. So the home area is kind of annoying because if it's not in your home area, they're not going to clean it and they're not going to repair it. But the home area will also expand to a lot of stuff that doesn't need to be covered by the home area, leading to kind of nonsensical stuff happening, like your people sweeping the ground outside, like literally sweeping the dirt. So I like to go through and fine-tune my home areas. Oh, they also won't firefight anything that's outside of a home area. So that's another. It's one of those things where, kind of like what we were discussing earlier, where it's weird with the level of complexity it has that you can't fine-tune certain things. Because I would most definitely like to be able to fine-tune instead of having home area that I'd rather have, have it split out into, firefighting areas and clean areas and repair areas and things like that instead of an all-in-one, considering that the all-in-one doesn't quite work as intended. So, okay. Anyway, once we've got those set up, toggle off all of our other prioritizations. And basically, Freckles gets the unfortunate. Freckles is. Damn it. We have to clean with NG. This is going to be a nightmare. Because she is all messed up from her withdrawal. So it's going to be the slowest cleaning ever. Yeah, certain characters have certain things they just won't do. Like sometimes you get a character who won't clean, you get a character who won't haul, won't cook. It's kind of random. And then, since they're already clearly... See, this room is big enough that what I'm probably going to do... What was it? Angie and Freckles, right? We could always look. So we're trying to figure out... So, NG and Freckles. Okay. So, Freckles, NG. So basically what I'm going to do is just split this room in half. And that should help me with some of the bonus problems, or the issues I'm having with their moods. Although what I'm going to do is it's best not to have them cross. But if they pass through each other's rooms to go to each other's rooms, it has its own negative side effect for their mood bonuses. So I like to make sure that every access way into a room, into a bedroom, is from either a hallway or a public type of entryway. That way you keep your bonuses maximized. Well, we don't so much need food here, buddy, as we need stuff to make walls. Just because that will cause its own range of mood issues now that they're not in a shared room. Okay. And then the final piece of the puzzle. Okay. So floors are an aesthetic thing. I usually use brick, but with all the problems we've had with NG and downtime and the fact that we haven't had any human raids, so we have no pool of recruits, it's kind of set me back in that whole process. So I'm just going to go with wood flooring, and I'll tear it up later. I usually don't use wood flooring just because as you get further into the game, you start running low on resources like wood. So I typically avoid it for that reason, because I like to save the wood for later. But you can always tear it up, so not really a huge issue. Essentially, what I'll do is I'll replace it with stone once I actually have bricks. Which at this rate, I might end up just tearing all this stuff down for bricks. Are you still wandering, Teddy? No, why are you not doing something? Teddy complaints. Like I said with NG and her estate, slowest clean job ever. Actually, you know what? We're going to switch. Teddy can do it. She can construct, since you don't have to move quickly to build stuff. Yeah, see how Freckles there is cleaning much, much faster than she was? Yeah. Good work, Freckles. Now we're going to change you to Hall. Get those damn rocks out of there, because those rocks are causing bonus issues. And with NG so slow, it would be nice to have all our stuff. Stop meditating, Freckles. Oh, we need to set his threshold. If you don't set his threshold to max, he'll never develop his skills. Teddy a Hall component too. Yeah, those marsh areas and those bedrooms are gonna mess stuff up. I'm gonna have to relocate those bedrooms eventually. Luckily I can make use of most of those spaces. Yeah, you can't really develop any of these unless you're of the tribal society. I'm just using it as a focal point just for shits and giggles, really. Alright, get our priorities in order there. Good Lord, Freckles, how much time do you need to... Where are you going? I guess that was a good call. What killed you? Huh. Apparently they got into a fight with each other. Yeah, it'd be really nice to have a night owl right now. Alright, it's still summer, so we're not too much of a rush to do certain things, but it will happen soon enough. God, are you still meditating? That's the only downside. When you forget to set it like that, then you have to wait for him to do the whole thing in one go. Those are not so much of a priority. Neither are those. Get the ones out from inside. There you go. What the hell are you hauling now? That's not really a priority right now either. Why are you meditating? You don't even have psychic abilities. They do it for stress relief and stuff, so. Alright, hopefully we get our next event soon. Let's see, you should actually be living in here. Ooh, that's a nice bonus, especially if everyone's outside working. I don't know why she ate potatoes raw when there's plenty of cooked food, but... Yeah, as you can see, this is one of the less exciting parts of the game. Now that it is fall, we are starting to get into the period where we have to start preparing for the cold. So, good thing we did all that wood cutting and such, because all of those materials are going to be valuable. Actually, to the point where I am going to cancel this for now, because that wood is going to have other uses. Okay, this is nonsense quest. It's one of the ways to end the game, but it's like the most impractical. By the time you could travel to... Oh, here, I'll just show you. By the time you could travel to where that's at, which is... let's go find out. yeah, all the way down here from all the way up here. By the time you could safely make that trip, you could probably just build your own spaceship and blast off. So I don't think I've ever once completed that quest in the entire. I've got thousands of hours logged to this game, and I've never once even like bothered to try to complete that quest. It's nonsensical. One time, I did have it like. I guess the equivalent would to be like, it was like right here, like that far away from my base, but it was still just traveling around is not worth it, and just for a multitude of reasons, but especially if you don't have the pod launchers, it takes forever, and you'll send out people to go do something, and then the instant you sent half your tribe to go do something, you get hit with a giant raid, and it's just like, well, all my people are gone, so I guess I lose. So yeah, traveling is just, you just never have enough people, at least for a very, very long time, for traveling to be viable in any way, shape, or form. Like every now and then you'll get a mission to like go to peace talks, and you can afford to send like one person off to go do that real quick. But other than that, yeah, because it takes supplies, they can only carry so much stuff, so then you need animals to carry stuff, and it just turns into a nightmare that is never really worth it in the end. Alright. Since NG is so bad in her condition right now, I'm gonna go ahead and toggle the other guy on, because this is never going to get done at this rate. And I really need this to be done so I can start other projects. Actually, no, we'll have NG do, since she's no good to us there. We will have her start making our parkas. Because she doesn't need to move around at all to do that. She just sits at the bench. So pretty much she can't screw that up at this point. On the bright side, once she's over this whole withdrawal thing, she turns into just a beast of a character. But until that happens, she's kind of a drag on our whole society. So at least I finally got all of the blocks out of here, so they won't have as many bonuses. Let's take a look. Yeah, she's mostly just going to have problems because of her withdrawal. The problem with force prioritizing things is that they won't go to sleep until they're exhausted, which causes its own set of problems. So, sometimes you gotta remember when you're working at benches to toggle off force prioritization on something that's a long-term project. God, I could really use another couple of people. At the very least, somebody who can research would be useful. Alright. So, a 21-year-old warrior named JB is calling from nearby. 2 archers? That's actually pretty easy to deal with. Question is how good is JB? Alright, I'm gonna do a raid save on that. All that, the end of part 2. And we will pick up part 3 with the raid and the new character.